Hey, how's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be exploring some of the best hidden gems around Hanksville, Utah. It's a tiny town in the middle of Utah where you can experience being on the moon's desolate environment. There are some of the most surreal landscapes on Earth and feels like being transported into a different dimension. We're going to be sharing our top 6 places to visit around Hanksville, Utah. Before starting off our Hanksville adventure, I want to mention that we have several different dedicated travel guides that will guide you with step-by-step directions on how to find these awesome top Hanksville spots. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and check out our other videos. Hanksville is located in central Utah in Wayne County, with Moab to the east, Capitol Reef to the west, Lake Powell to the south, and Salt Lake City to the north. The small town of Hanksville was settled in 1882 and current day's population is around 200. There are a few small hotels to stay the night here on your trip, but during busy season they book up fast, so be sure to plan accordingly. Most of the roads for these spots are dirt. Almost all of them require an off-road vehicle to get to. The dirt roads lead to more remote areas where cell phone service is limited. The appeal of this little visited region is both in the small-scale erosional features and also the wider unearthly landscapes. The number 1 spot on our list is Moonscape Overlook. The Overlook is a long skyline rim looking over a vast, barren landscape of gray and brown, commonly called Blue Valley. The dirt road ride to get here is about 6 miles on a smooth dirt road. Then you will turn off on a bumpier dirt road. So for this location, I'd suggest a higher clearance SUV or truck and not a lower clearance car. What gives the Blue Valley its color is the Moonscape Shale, which is a dominant geological feature in the area here near the ghostish town of Hanksville. Moonscape Shale is more of a gray color in direct sunlight, and just before sunrise and just after sunset it gains a bluish tinge. The best time to visit are during blue hour and golden hour, which means about 30 minutes before sunrise and 30 minutes after sunset for more dramatic scenes. Plan on spending a couple hours here to the whole day at the Moonscape. There are a couple other overlooks on Skyline Rim where you can drive to or hike to. The overlook has steep drop-offs with dangerous edges and fragile rocks. The cliffs are unstable, so visitors should stay away from the edge, walk slowly, and be extra careful with the footing. Similar to many other Southwest destinations, these locations around Hanksville can get extremely hot from late spring to early fall. Temperatures often soar into the 90s and above. Although it's a dry heat, the sun is extremely strong and you can easily get dehydrated. Despite the heat, people often travel to this area then because they have time off. If you want to avoid the summer heat, then the best time to go is in early spring or late fall when the temperatures are mild. There are also many areas on the rim where you can camp overnight, whether it's in your camper van, your rooftop tent, or in your sleeping bag, gazing up at the stars all night long. On a clear day, you can see east past Hanksville and across Canyonlands National Park, and possibly to the Manti-La Sal Mountains. Behind you is majestic Factory Butte, and you can find various angles from which to photograph this grand formation. I've been to the Moonscape Overlook a half dozen times, and it always amazes me every time I step next to the ledge. It's probably my most favorite spot in Utah because of how out of this world it looks. Coming in the number 2 spot is Factory Butte. Factory Butte is the most recognizable feature in the desert horizon in central Utah. Surrounded by an area of stark, barren land, come immerse yourself in these supernatural mountain ranges. The dirt road to arrive to Factory Butte is a very smooth dirt road from the main highway, but if you want to explore on some of these mountain ranges, you will need a high clearance off-road vehicle. The topography is characterized by mud flats bearing sparse, undulating gray badlands and sharp ridges completely devoid of any vegetation. Surrounded are a few flat-topped hills of orange-brown sandstone, of which Factory Butte is a prominent example of. The occasional eroded sandstone and shale formations found in the vicinity of Factory Butte, including hoodoos and small arches, are from the underlying Ferrone sandstone layer that also contains seams of coal several feet thick in some places. We spent a couple hours with a picnic for lunch enjoying Factory Butte before heading on to our next spot.
Hi, we are at Factory Butte in the middle of nowhere. It feels like you're very isolated out here because there's nothing for miles and miles.
And look at our view. Look at our view in the background.
Look at that.
Leftover pizza.
Cold pizza's the best, folks. Cold. Not warm, cold.
Cold pizza with a view.
This is a perfect lunch spot. Not a soul around.
Can't beat it.
Having the opportunity to travel on dirt roads to the middle of nowhere and find solitude is one of the best aspects of exploring the central Utah desert. The Bentonite Hills comes in at our number 3 spot to see around Hanksville, Utah. The 4-mile dirt road to arrive at the hills is very rocky with quite a few bumps, so an SUV or truck with higher clearance is recommended. The Bentonite Hills are a strange and colorful clay formation in the Utah desert. The hills date back to over 140 million years ago to the Jurassic period. Bentonite is a type of clay that forms when volcanic ash meets seawater in most cases, but sometimes in freshwater and swampy areas too. The surface of the Bentonite Hills is often described as popcorn-like texture. The bentonite clay that forms these hills gets this popcorn appearance from the bentonite clay absorbing rainwater and drying out over and over again. It's one of the handful of places on Earth that is almost identical to the landscape and climate of Mars. Because of this, the Bentonite Hills is home to the Mars Desert Research Station. The station is a research facility used to prepare for human exploration on Mars. The Bentonite Hills was chosen for the location because of its likeness to the surface of Mars. Different gear, such as spacesuits and tools, are tested out here at the Mars station. Scientists also use the station to develop different field tactics that will be necessary for humans to explore the surface of Mars. The MDRS is one of the 3 simulated Mars analog habitats in the entire world.
We reached the moon.
We did. We're on the moon.
And I did it in a dress. I'm on the moon, folks.
The best time to visit the Bentonite Hills is either during sunrise or sunset to capture the colorful glow of the hills. There are a couple miles of hills, so park your car on the side of the road and explore the hills on foot. Be sure to wear grippy hiking shoes as the popcorn-looking clay of the hills is very slippery. We spent about an hour enjoying the hills during sunset and headed back on the dirt road in the dark. Some of these spots have bad cell phone reception, so if you're going solo, be sure to tell somebody where you're going. The number 4th place to visit around Hanksville, Utah is Long Dong Silver, and it's also commonly called the Spire. This is easily one of the most impressive formations that we've seen in person. If you've been trying to decipher the exact location of this place and how to find Long Dong Silver, we've got all the information you need. You can find our travel guide on Long Dong Silver under our Hanksville playlist. This location is quite tricky to get to. You will turn off the main road and use maps to find the tire tracks others have made to find the trailhead for the hike. There is no official road that you can plug into your GPS to find the trailhead. There are many bumps on the road, so a higher clearance vehicle is recommended. Once you arrive at the trailhead, it is an easy 2-mile hike into the mountains to find the Spire. The Spire itself is just as impressive up close as it is from far away. It's made up of fairly crumbly rock, and you can firsthand see how weathered it is and question how much longer it will stand up to the forces of erosion. The best views and photos are definitely from the far northeast side of Long Dong Silver, so take some time to walk up to and around it, then make your way back to your vehicle by retracing your tracks. Plan for about 3 hours from the ride to get to the trailhead to the hike, enjoying the Spire, and the hike back to the trailhead back to the main road. Place number 5 to visit is Swing Arm City. This area consists of gray slopes, ridges, buttes, and flats just west of the lower end of Factory Butte Road, popular for off-roading and primitive camping. There are no designated trails and people are allowed to drive and ride anywhere. Steeply angled hills create an exciting off-road playground for recreation vehicles from ATVs to dirt bikes. On any given day, Swing Arm City plays host to adrenaline junkies from grandkids to grandparents. It was a blast taking the Raptor for a spin on the formations, but to get the full Swing Arm City experiences, bring your dirt bike or ATV. Last but not least is our number 6 spot, Temple of the Sun. Temple of the Sun is located on the edge of Capitol Reef National Park. The journey to get there is composed of 20 miles of dirt road filled with washboards and rocks. With the temple being so far away from civilization, we recommend bringing a very reliable high-clearance vehicle. I say reliable as it will cost a pretty penny to be rescued far out here if you have vehicle problems. Once you have arrived, you'll see the large rock monoliths that are composed of earthy, pink, Entrada sandstone. Deposited 160 million years ago in the Jurassic period, this fine-grained sandstone formed by the deposition of sand and silt in tidal flats. It crumbles easily to a fine sand that is rapidly removed by water. Therefore, debris slopes do not form and Entrada cliffs tend to rise sheer from their base. Above the Entrada, the grayish-green sandstone and siltstone of the Curtis sandstone forms a hard cap rock on some of the monoliths, and higher cliffs and buttes protecting them from erosion. Above the Curtis is a thinly bedded reddish-brown siltstone of the Somerville Formation. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe to our adventure channel to see more hiking and travel guides.